This is a hard one. I don't like this game. Hey love, so today we're going to do a Keep 10, Drop 10 eyeshadow palette declutter. I have been struggling for such a long time trying to figure out how to do these declutters because I just feel so overwhelmed. There's so much stuff and I feel like breaking it down like this is going to help me so much. I cannot take credit for this idea at all. I saw it on Ashley Klaty's channel. I love Ashley's channel. I will definitely link her down below. I asked her, I was like, is it cool if I do this too? Because I feel like it's such a great idea. It breaks down and it gives you guys declutters more often. And I feel like just breaking it down to like doing 20 palettes at once and deciding to keep half and get rid of half is going to be so much more beneficial for me and for my content on my channel. So again, I'm going to link her channel down below. She's adorable. She's super sweet. You guys will love her. Yeah, definitely check her out down below. But anyway, we're going to jump into this. But before we do, please subscribe if you have not already. I upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday here on my channel. And if you like declutters, hopefully there will be many more coming soon. I will do this with all other different types of palettes. I will do it with highlighters, lip products, all sorts of stuff because I need to get rid of so many things. Let's get into it. I do want to start this off by saying that I will not be sending any of this out. I just feel like that's so unsanitary and not okay. I will definitely be donating because they have means of sanitizing to Project Beauty Share here in Spokane or to friends and family that are cool with using sanitizing and using makeup that I have used. I just don't think it's right to send it to you guys, so I'm sorry. Please don't ask. It just gets awkward. Okay. Anyway, okay, so I'm just going to kind of reach for them. I have 20 palettes sitting down here next to me, and I'm just going to kind of grab a few and go through and decide if I'm going to keep it or get rid of it, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why I'm keeping it or the reasons I'm getting rid of it. The first ones I'm going to talk about are actually pretty similar in color, so we're just going to look at them. I'm going to start with the Peachy Queen palette. This guy I saw on, I think it was Facebook, maybe, and I was just like really wanted to order it. I thought it was so pretty. You can see all of the glitters in there. It's half matte, it's half glitter. This looks like something that I would absolutely love. I've only tried to wear it once. My thoughts on this are I have so many palettes that look like this. I remember that my eyelids were a little sensitive when I tried this, so that may be part of why I'm just like pushing this palette away. It's beautiful, don't get me wrong, and it could just be me. I've gone through a few periods of time over the last year where my eyelids have been very sensitive, and I just don't feel like it's worth risking it. And I definitely have friends and family that would absolutely love this palette, and it's such a beautiful palette, but I really don't think I need it. The next one we're going to talk about is the Ace Beauty palette. This came in a BoxyCharm. The only downside of this one for me is that it does not have a mirror, but I do like the size of it. It's really great for travel. I have taken this traveling before. It's got kind of the same colors in it. And the thing that really gets me about this one is this brown. I feel like this, even though it looks very similar to a lot of other browns out there, there's something about it on the eye. It's just so beautiful, and I feel like it's unique, even though I'm sure I probably have many shades in my collection that look a lot like it, but I just feel like this is such a great complete palette. Like, these are just shades that I love to wear. I love wearing peaches. I'm definitely rocking the peach today. It's not from this palette. Even though this shade's a little too dark for me to use as a brow bone highlight, I just really enjoy this palette. I love the pigmentation. The tutorial I did using this is it Ace Beauty? I always say Ace Beauty. I really enjoyed that tutorial, so I do think I'm gonna hang on to this guy, especially because it's so small and compact. I feel like it's just easy to hang on to, and I just really loved the pigmentation and the blendability on these, and I just feel like this is a good one to keep. So I'm gonna keep it. All right, the next two we're gonna talk about are two that I just grabbed, two that look somewhat similar because they're glittery packaging. These are both high-end palettes. This is a Too Faced palette. This is a Urban Decay palette. So the first one we're gonna look at is the Moon Dust palette. As you can see, it's beautiful. I have not used this in so long. I used to be completely in love with the Moon Dust shadows. That's what I would like work towards collecting and just trying to get all of them in my collection. So when they put out an actual palette, I just had to jump on it. I love these. Forgot how beautiful these are. Look at this, you guys. This one, before we even get too much further into it, I'm gonna have to keep this. This is absolutely beautiful. The type of glitters that like when you're under a light, like they just look magical. So I'm definitely gonna keep this Urban Decay Moon Dust palette. I love the packaging on this. This is the Too Faced Sugar and Spice palette. I think this was the Ulta version of the holiday palettes. It's really pretty. It's very neutral. It's very cool tone. And while I love cool tone palettes right now, I've been really feeling the cool tone. I don't reach for this one, and the downside of this one is it is a holiday palette, so you can't get it any longer, so I can't really use it in a video. I used to be so obsessed with collecting all of the Too Faced holiday palettes. They were my favorite. I have so many, but I really can't use them, and I really need to focus on bringing my collection back down to what I can use in videos for you guys and what you will really enjoy. And while I loved this palette, I wasn't so blown away with it that I feel like I need to keep it. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Too Faced Sugar and Spice palette. Hopefully I can find a better home for it. All right, so here are two more. This guy right here is from Coastal Scents. It's the Jardin Bloom, I think is how you say it. And this guy is a Unique palette. And this palette right here is from Unique. It's one of their Moodstruck Addiction palettes. I don't know if that's just the name. I think they're Moodstruck palettes, and this one's the Addiction one. My sister gifted me this one. So let's start with the Coastal Scents one. This one, again, it's very muted. Like, it just doesn't really speak to me. Doesn't really speak to me. This was easy. I think I'm going to get rid of this one. This one's going to go. This one's going to go. Ooh, okay. So this guy is very cool toned. It's very gray. And I actually think I love that. I love that. I have not used this guy yet. I definitely will use it in a tutorial soon. I don't own a lot of Unique products, only a couple that my sisters gifted me. And I will definitely try. Do you guys want a video with this? Let me know down below. I just feel like it's so gray. And I have found that it's actually harder to find a good gray shadow than I ever thought it was. So when I have the opportunity to try more, hi Luna, I think I want to try it. So we're definitely going to keep this guy. All right, so the next two palettes we're going to talk about are the Laura Lee Party Animal palette and then the Anastasia Prism palette. I don't even remember buying this palette. I think that I just like black out and buy any Anastasia palette that ever comes out because I can't live without them. I honestly was like, crap, I never bought that. I should have bought it. Apparently I did. I'm sure it's on a haul somewhere on my channel from Sephora or Ulta. I'm sure that it is. Ingredients thing just fell out of here. So I clearly haven't even done anything but swatch this guy. Ooh, she's pretty. Why haven't we used this? This guy, I think it's still available. I'm not 100% sure. I know that it often goes on sale on Sephora. Like, Luna is walking around just knocking everything off of everything. So if you hear random things falling, it's just Luna. Anyway, she gets it from her mom, obviously. But anyway, I have not even used this palette, but I feel like I need to do a tutorial and use that bright one. Plus it's an Anastasia palette, so this is kind of cheating because you know I'm gonna have to keep it. I was just looking at like some of the old ones. We'll go through those soon in another one. I didn't want to do a whole bunch of Anastasia ones because knowing me, I'll probably want to keep them all. So I'm going to keep the Anastasia Prism palette because it's an Anastasia palette. I remember when I got this, I think in a BoxyCharm, and I was really excited because it's super bright and fun. But I really don't think that I need it. I still have the Urban Decay Electric palette. I have some really bright palettes. I'm going to get the James Charles palette whenever I can. I just keep missing out on it because it keeps selling out all the time. And I feel like that will just like keep me covered on all my brights because I don't use them a lot. I have all the Sugar Pearl shadows. So even though I was really excited about this one, especially this sparkly pink, I just feel like I don't really need it. I just don't really need it. I have someone in mind that might really enjoy this palette, so I'm going to pass it along to her. Cute. I love that it's tiny. I love that there's a mirror, like the compactness of it, but it's just not really practical for me. We're going to do a head-to-head of Kat Von D. We're going to keep one. We're going to get rid of one. But this is really difficult, and I feel like I'm going to have to keep this one. So I guess I should have stayed by this one. But we'll look at it. This is the Interstellar palette. I bought this when it came out. I was collecting all of the Kat Von D palettes. Even when I bought it, I was like, Shannon, you're never going to use that palette. It just doesn't look like your aesthetic at all. This just is not me. This is just not me. And even though I have been trying to wear cool tone shades much more, I don't need all of these, and this palette I don't think is even made anymore, so I can't use it in a video. So that's a big reason why this one needs to go, because if it's no longer available, like what's the point? If it is available, I'm sorry, I didn't realize, but I don't think that it is. I do really like her eyeshadow formulas. I think they're really great, but when it comes down to these two palettes, I'm gonna have to keep the Shade and Light eye palette because let's look at it. So we're gonna say bye to the Interstellar palette. Bye, girl. And then this is the Shade and Light eye palette. You can see this is well loved. I went through a phase where I was wearing this all the time. I just love this so much because you have your warm tones, your cool tones, and your neutral tones. Your warm tones, your cool tones, and your neutral tones all in one. I just loved this palette, and I feel like this is just such a big part of my makeup history for myself that I feel like I need to keep it. I just really, really love this palette. So I feel like this one is definitely one that I have to keep. Sometimes you just need to keep something even if it doesn't really make sense. All right, the two that we are going to look at are the Tarte Rainforest After Dark palette and the Pretty Vulgar Nightingale eyeshadow palette. All right, so we're gonna look at the Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette. This one is definitely cool toned. I haven't even used this palette. The fact that I haven't used this palette kind of gives it an advantage. So I do want to try it out. I do want to use it, and I feel like it would be fun to use in a tutorial because I haven't yet. It is quite cool toned, but again, we're talking a lot about cool tone palettes. Apparently that's a thing for me right now. But this one I feel like is worth checking out because I haven't used it. I haven't used a ton of Pretty Vulgar, but what I have tried from Pretty Vulgar, I love. So I'm going to keep this one. I remember when I bought this, I kind of had to convince myself that I needed it. I don't know why. I used to spend so much money on makeup, like just all of my disposable income on makeup. This is really beautiful. I remember loving the blush. I remember loving the contour and the highlight. It's nice that it's got all these things in one, but it's just not one that I really reach for. Again, I don't know if this is still available, but it's a nice compact little circle palette, but I just feel like I don't really need it. It doesn't really speak to me. It doesn't bring me joy. So this little baby can go. We have 2 little square palettes. This guy I bought forever ago at Nordstrom Rack. This has to go. This has to go. I don't even know if I've used this. Why have I held on to this? This is a Tarte palette. I don't even know how many years ago this came out. The Rising Star palette, probably like a decade. Probably not really, but probably close, maybe. I don't want to look. I've swatched this side of the palette, but I haven't even, these eyeshadows aren't even swatched. So clearly this doesn't speak to me. Wow, Tarte. Look at these brushes in here. Tarte's definitely stepped it up since this palette dropped, but this one's definitely gonna go, which is good because I haven't even used this guy yet. This is a Milani Most Loved Mattes palette. Ooh, she beautiful. Okay, good, because I want to keep this. I don't even think I've used this on my eyes yet, but I've heard so many good things, so I'm definitely gonna have to hold on to this guy and give it a go. This orange is just, ooh! Yes, we're keeping her. So this is the Milani Most Loved Mattes. Want a tutorial? Let me know. I had to bring you guys in a little closer because my camera keeps wanting to focus on things in the background. And if my face is like filling up the screen, we should be good. These are the next 2 we're gonna look at. One is from IT Cosmetics and one is from Smashbox. This Smashbox one, I remember I just thought it was like the coolest thing ever. I don't even remember how much I spent on it. I mean, she's really pretty. She's really pretty. Look at this. This is intense. It's got like plastic coverings. It's got highlights and bronzers, blushes, lots of fun shades, but I just never reached for this. When I used it, I remember not being near as impressed with it as I thought I would be. I thought this was just like the coolest thing ever, and I had all of the shades that I possibly needed, but I don't reach for it. I don't use it, and again, I think it's discontinued, and when things are discontinued, I just like don't see a point in keeping them unless they like touch me in some way or I really, really love them. But I remember I wasn't that obsessed with this one, so this one can go. This is the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. This one's very subdued. I remember really liking the formula, and I don't have a ton of IT Cosmetics shadows, so I'm definitely going to hang on to this guy because I do think that it's a good solid one to keep in my collection, and I do think it's still available. It's just a nice soft palette, but I remember some of these down here gave more pigment than I even thought that they would, so we will keep her. Okay, the next 2, we have another Smashbox palette. This is the Full Exposure palette, and this is a BoxyCharm and Pure palette. This one is so pretty. It's got all of these shades in it. I really do like the color scheme on this one. I don't know if this was, I think you could order it from the BoxyCharm website, but it does seem to be obviously branded with BoxyCharm, so it's going to be harder to get than some other palettes. So that's something I'm taking into consideration with this one. It looks really pretty. This is going to be hard. Okay, so we'll look at this one. Now let's look at the Full Exposure palette. I remember I lusted after this palette so much because of the neutral shades being glittery, but I do remember they didn't really perform to like what you thought they would. Like I remember seeing them like under the lights in Sephora, and you know how everything looks so beautiful in Sephora and you're just like, I need it. But then I put it on my eye and I was like, oh, it's just a basic shimmer. I think I'm gonna hang on to the Smashbox one just because, again, I don't have a ton of Smashbox, just like I don't have a ton of a lot of brands. I'm definitely a creature of habit with the brands that I buy. So I do think I will hang on to this Full Exposure palette and pass this BoxyCharm one along. So we're gonna toss this guy and we're gonna keep this one. Okay, so the last 2 we're gonna look at are the Revealed Free from Coastal Scents and then this Studio Makeup On The Go eyeshadow palette. I used to be really, really into these Revealed palettes from Coastal Scents. They are really good. Really good. This one obviously this is a dupe of the Naked 3, but it also has a bunch of other fun shades in there that are some really good shades in here. I remember really loving this one. So this is option 1, and then this one I think is kind of similar in tone. A lot of muted shades. While there are some really pretty ones like this one right here, you can see it's got hard pan on it though, so it's kind of hard. Oh, but she's pretty. Shoot. Look at that. This is a hard one. I don't like this game. Oh, that's so pretty, you guys. I was like positive that I was going to keep this one and get rid of this one. And now that I've swatched that one, I'm like, maybe I need to change my mind. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep this one. I think that shade right there alone has won me over. Okay, we're going to keep the Studio Makeup one. We're going to get rid of the Coastal Scents one. No offense to Coastal Scents. I know that I'm getting rid of 2 of their palettes in this Declutter, but I do love their palettes and I know I will hang on to the other ones. So I guess This is goodbye. Okay, we're doing it. Keeping going. All right, so there we go. There are 10 palettes gone, 10 palettes keeping. We will definitely have many of these to come. Well, let me know if you guys want another palette declutter next, or if you want me to do highlighters, blushes, bronzers, contour palettes. Let me know what kind of things you want next. You want lip products? I don't think I've done a lip product declutter. That would be fun to do. I definitely have a ton that I need to get rid of. Yeah, let me know what you guys want to see next. All right, loves, I think that is everything. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you want more declutters, and share it if you could, because it does help me out so much. And please subscribe if you have not already. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hey, love. So today we are going to... What? I feel like my nose is like lit up to the sky. Oh, excuse me. Not what? Shannon, get it together. Get it together. Why is it focusing on this? Why do you think this is a face? I lusted in. I can't even speak. Naked 3? What are words? Another pound. What? Shannon?